Welcome to Carol Art of Sports. We're here with the one and only Eddie Hearn. Man, drinking water. I know you just come off a long interview. I feel like you've been kind of all over the world recently.
I have been.
Just firstly, man, talk about that night. It was just incredible. It had everything right. Like Senior shows up at like the 11th hour. Like
just one of the most dramatic nights, weeks, and fights. You know, so often those mega fights just don't live up to the hype. And there you had like some people, I'd call them haters, but even those of media level, you know, just not, there's no world title on the line. It's like, you got to understand, like, to that mass audience, they really don't care. They just want to see a great fight. And they saw one of the best fights ever in a British ring. And it was, you know, everyone's talking about it, the whole country.
Right.
And Conor will be here tomorrow, actually, so he's flying and ready to do it all over again.
The whole boxing world's talking about it. It was that good. You know, Oscar himself was talking about it. He kind of showed concern said, you know, like the rematch would kind of affect both of their healths. I mean, but it sounds like the rematch is set already. What's the update?
We all signed a 2-fight deal. So that's what we're obliged to do. I mean, I think for Chris, obviously he's mid-30s, you know, he just got out of hospital on Monday. You do have to look at the fighters and their health, but, you know, I said to Conor Ben, what's your thoughts on, you know, obviously you've got a rematch. And his exact words to me were, if you thought that was a war, wait till you see the rematch. So he's already training. He's back in the gym. He's crazy.
I saw him in that treadmill the next day, like 2 days later.
So like I say, he'll be here tomorrow. You can chat to him, but he's a good kid.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I keep saying kid. I should say man, really.
Right.
Like, he really proved himself as a man on Saturday night.
No, 100%. What happened Fight Week? There was something someone told you about, like some senior had said something about PEDs, and you were. And what was going on with that?
That was Radio Raheem. And seconds out, he said that Senior done an interview that day, which was Thursday, saying that Senior said I gave Conor Ben the peds and I should be suspended. And I said, he didn't say that, Raheem. He said, no, he did. And then we played it back and he didn't say that at all. And the interview was 2 years ago. So other than that, like, it was just a miss. Seconds out, they apologised and they got it wrong, but it's fine.
You know, recently Tyson Fury was, you know, on social media, you know, in the gym, said, you know what's coming, something like that. Obviously, the fight that we haven't gotten yet, that, you know, another big UK fight is the AJ fight, right? Are we any closer just because of that, maybe? It seems
like every time there's a big fight, especially in England, Fury comes out, and I guess he's watching that Ben Eubank, and he's probably thinking, oh, I can do that. And then obviously they announced Usyk and Dubois as well. So, I think it's only a matter of time till Fury returns, and when he does, hopefully he gives the world and the British public what they've always dreamed of, but it's up to him.
Yeah, hopefully, man, because that's another one we all want to see. What's going on with Shakur? I know you were saying you wanted to do a whole Matchroom versus Golden Boy card with the Zepeda Shakur thing, but now, like, DeBella's involved with Shakur. Did they exercise?
We have a 2-fight deal with Shakur.
Okay.
The first one was, supposed to be Floyd Schofield, ended up being Josh Padley, and this is the last one, July 12th. So we looked at a 5v5, but His Excellency wanted to do the fight on July 12th, which is fine. And then after that, we'll have to see. You know, we want to work with Shakur long term. I think he's one of the best fighters in the sport. He's got to work for us as well. But, you know, we've had a good time working with him. Obviously, for me, we really went above and beyond to land the Padley fight 3 days out in Riyadh. Saved him, really.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll see what happens after July 12th. And Zepeda, it's a great fight for him.
It is a great fight. Another one of your fighters, Boots. You know, it sounds like Norman's going to go to Japan and fight that guy. So I guess it's not, Norman. Mario Barrios sounds like might be fighting the legend, and Manny Pacquiao, which is... What do you think about that?
It's awful. I mean, it's just... look, there was a time maybe 3 or 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, when Pacquiao was talking about fighting. I mean, I think we spoke to him once about fighting Conor Ben, but now, like, it's another 3 years past. When was the last time he had a professional boxing fight? I don't know, 5, 6 years ago, something like that. You know, that fight should never be sanctioned for a WBC world title. So hopefully Barrios fights Boots, but they're looking for the payday, and it's sad. But it is what it is. So, for Boots, we've got the mandatory against Gearsov, but His Excellency's made it very clear he wants Boots to fight Teofimo. You know, and that's a great fight at 147. So we'll see what happens on Saturday night.
Right, it's a great card on Saturday night.
Interesting.
Which is like the one you're maybe has the most juice behind it? Which one do you think, you know, is kind of the one that stands out?
I think probably the best fight of the night is Teofimo against Barbosa. I think that could be a banana skin. I'm interested to see Devin return because I think that night took a lot out of him physically, and I think there'll be a few demons for him coming back into the ring. I don't think Ramirez at this stage is necessarily the guy to expose that, and then I think Ryan. I'm very. Ryan talked a lot of shit about me and Haney, but he wasn't in a good place, and I was surprised he ended up in that fight, if I'm honest. And I think what Ryan has done to get himself back to where he is, and they're saying about Ryan, like, obviously he's a very handsome young man, and he's such an asset to boxing when he's like this, because he's so exciting, looks great, the young kids know him, and I just think it's really good to see him back. I think he's much too much for Rolly, much too fast, much too powerful. I think he'll stop him, certainly within the first half of the fight. And I think if Ryan can get it right, I think he's going to be tough to beat, if I'm honest.
Definitely. Sure, with Derek James behind him too, it's going to be great. Last one, man, you kind of broke some news saying that Jake Paul's going to fight Gervonta. I know that was kind of rumored, but prior to the Roach draw, but something we don't or something.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know it wasn't being talked about. I was just told last week that fight's done. So whether it is or not, I don't know. But I know that I think Jake flew into the last fight to announce the fight after the Lamont Roach fight. So I think they've pulled the Lamont Roach fight for June. So I don't even know what's happening with that. Maybe they go straight into Jake Paul later in the year because it's a risk fight in Lamont Roach. Right. But Gervonta Davis is a 135 pounder now fighting a 200 pound Jake Paul, who also wants to fight Anthony Joshua, who's 250 pound. Right. The world's gone mad. But welcome to boxing.
Yeah. Eddie, appreciate your time, sir. Thank you very much.